was remanded under the Mental Health Act into hospital for treatment, although he never served a prison sentence. On 4th of December 1990, Alexander was aged 58. He was arrested in the early hours of the morning and charged with assaulting 3 police officers after they had been called to a disturbance at a party near to his home in North London. But at 4 a.m. he was released from police custody on bail, only to be rearrested less than 2 hours later and charged with assaulting another police officer. His second arrest resulted in a violent struggle, with Alexander being laid face down in a police van and physically restrained by 4 officers. At Edmonton Magistrates Court later the same morning, he complained to the duty solicitor of police brutality, both during his arrest and while being held at the police station. And the duty solicitor observed that the police were very hostile towards Alexander, who they warned was a nutter. It was subsequently confirmed from police records that Alexander had indeed suffered cuts and bruises before he arrived at the prison. Despite his record showing clearly that he was mentally ill and had previously been in mental hospital, the magistrates decided to remand him to Brixton prison. On his arrival there, he was seen by a prison doctor who failed to note his bodily injuries but diagnosed him as suffering from a manic depression syndrome. The doctor recommended that he be placed in a single cell in the hospital wing of the prison and removed to a strip cell should he become aggressive. Early in the morning of 6 December, prison officers claimed that Alexander became manic and threatened his cellmate, although this was denied by the prisoners concerned at the subsequent inquest. No doctor was on duty at the night. The principal prison officer later testified that he had not known a doctor to be called out to the prison at night for 14 years, and the hospital officer had no medical qualifications, despite his being in charge of 231 prisoners, most with psychiatric illnesses. A decision was made to remove Alexander to a strip cell, located down a 42-step walkway using controlled and restraint procedures. These involved officers donning riot gear and shields and using ratchet handcuffs on the prisoner. The doctor telephone later testified that in hindsight, had she known that force was to be used, she would have refused permission until she had arrived and been able to administer a sedative injection. Fellow prisoners who appeared at the inquest told of a violent struggle between prison officers and Alexander. They claimed that a group of 5 or 6 officers in riot gear rushed to his cell, where they removed the door from its hinges, dragged him out and bounced him down the stairs. Then it was alleged, with Alexander laid face down on the landing floor and handcuffed to the rails, he was kicked and beaten in a bloody fury. Prison officers at the inquest gave contradictory accounts, some claiming that Alexander had walked down the stairs and others that he was carried, but admitting that abusive language was directed at Alexander, while 5 officers denied this. The official record showed that only 3 prison officers removed Alexander from his cell. Although one the doctor in the case confirmed that when he later visited the prison, she found the door to Alexander's cell lying off its hinges. Alexander was left locked in a strip cell and was later observed through the door to have stopped breathing. The hospital officer on duty did not know how to insert a plastic airway into his mouth. And Alexander was taken to King's College Hospital in resisting attempts to restrain him. These injuries included a fractured bone in his spine, probably the result of a blow to the small of the back of the application of pressure, such as from a knee, damage to 3 ribs and 2 teeth lodged in his throat, and the third sheared off at a gum level. Alexander had no history of heart trouble, and his body showed no evidence of heart disease. The inquest jury returned a unanimous verdict that Alexander had died from natural causes aggravated by lack of care, and the coroner declared that he viewed some aspects of his inquest with much disquiet and concern. Jermaine Alexander's daughter stated simply, "My father should have been treated properly as a patient in a mental hospital, and he should never have been sent to prison." Brixton prison, all the inmates, Happy New Year!
distance, okay?
You need to stop. What are you doing?
Back. You need to move back.
You just need to
Move back. Take a step back, guys. Stand up. At the moment, I'm not allowed to interfere in an arrest. Actually, no, it's illegal. That's why I'm asking you to stand back, please.
Could you please tell me what the
Please.
is?
Sorry?
I need to know the badge number of the arresting officer, please. And
No, you don't.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Are you refusing to
Are
tell
you a
us?
solicitor?
No, I'm
No,
not.
you're not.
Are you
Please stand back.
refusing to tell me?